making sure that there is no bugs in the code, but there is a lot more aspects to it. So you will see those in today's aspect too. uh, what other things, other components are involved in security. Okay, so before we move into our session 6 with security operations and administration, let's cover our basically oops, I'm going to stop sharing, and then let's cover our 5 questions from last week. And I have been impressed by your presentations. Actually, I am learning a lot from there too. So I hope we are all learning with those presentations, right? And plus, you are the most important thing is you are also learning from it, right? When you do it by yourself and you're trying to explain it. Okay, Sarosh is planning on giving the presentation now. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Very good, Sarosh. Go ahead, sir. So again, this is open form of communication here. Anybody have questions? Please raise your hand, and Sarosh can answer those. We can all together pitch in and help Sarosh answering those questions. If he is struggling, but if he's good, then he can answer the questions, or we can all jump in and share your thoughts too. And then again, if you have any other comments too, please go ahead and make sure you add your comments so that we all learn from each other. And one more point is, once you're done with your presentations, please upload those presentations to the chat so everybody can have those presentations as prep work for them for the future. Go ahead with Sarosh.
Yeah. So week 5 is basically concentrating on access control. So in this we have what are the access control models, biometrics, SSO, logical controls, and breach effect, which we learned last week. So first question is, what is access control and what are the 4 flavors of access control? So basically access control is the process of granting or denying a specific request for obtaining and using information and related information processing services. It regulates who or what can view, use, or access a resource. So there are 4 flavors. One is your MAC, mandatory access control, then DAC, which is a discretionary access control, then role-based access control, RBAC, and rule-based access control. There is a role, this is a rule. So mandatory access control, MAC, system enforced policy, access based on security labels and clearances. User cannot override this. This is mandatory access control, and it needs clearance. Then you have a discretionary access control. Resource owner decides who get access. Flexible but less secure. Common in most operating systems, the discretionary access control. Then we have role-based access control, RBAC, that is access assigned by organization role, simplifies management in large organization. If you have largest organization, then it is uh, based on the organization role, which organization you belong in a big company. Because they have so many organizations, big companies. So it all depends which organization you become. Like if you are business analyst, so you will be given that role. If you are in technology and you need database DBA role, so they will be giving you DBA role. So you cannot go to other roles. So that is your role based. Then rule-based access control, user predefined rules. So that it time of the day, which IP address you are going to use, should we deny if you want to use other IP address, other time of the day, that is your rule based. So if some privilege is there only for daytime, some privilege is there only for night time. So that type of that type of rule is there, and you can access through that rule you can use. Then second question is that what are the types of biometrics, advantage and disadvantage? So these are the basically types of biometrics: physiological biometrics, behavioral biometrics. So
Brother, can I ask one quick question on the access controls?
yeah,
and anybody can answer this. Okay, I want everybody to answer it. So, is smart card considered as a logical access control or a physical access control? Anybody can answer it.
It will be physical.
Physical.
Smart card,
Yeah,
smart card.
yeah.
What
Because
is
you
what?
have to have that card, and in that smart card, I believe there is some barcode or something,
Yeah,
and you have to have, in order to use or whatever privilege is given in that bar card, you can only utilize that. You have to swipe, and like your entry to the office, that is your smart card.
yeah. But how is that smart card utilized though?
So because it scans whatever is there in the card, the
Yeah.
bar.
So yeah, right. Exactly. So it is scanning a digital system, right? Not a physical
Yeah,
system. It's not a key, right?
yeah, yeah. Not a
So
key.
it is scanning what? A digital mechanism, right? Whether
Yeah,
your
digital.
computer or a system, then how come it will be a, does everybody agree with brother? It's a physical access control, smart card.
Yeah.
Why do you think so? It's not
I would say
accessing.
it's logical, because a key would be physical versus this is software driven.
Absolutely, it is software driven, and it has some kind of your identification in the smart card, right? Either your user ID or your password or your token or your biometric, right? That's how they are recognizing, right? It's a machine to machine communication. Anything that happens machine to machine, it's always a logical control. Remember that, folks. That's why I just wanted to ask you guys that thing. Sometimes it gets a little confusing.
So
Make
then,
sense?
what is physical? What is physical?
Physical is, something is like locks you're using or a guard or
Okay,
those kind of
okay,
physicals. Yeah.
okay.
Anything that is related to computers, machine to machine, it's
Always
always just user ID and password. Is a user ID and password what? Is it a logical or physical control?
illogical.
Logical. So smart card is also a logical control because it's a communication between the systems. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead,
So
continue.
yeah, so physiological is your fingerprint, retina scan, facial recognition, hand geometry, and vein pattern. Vein pattern is like your vein is running. What is it? It is different than that is a vein which is in our hand or wherever it is. That is a vein recognition. So all these are basically unique to each individual. Fingerprint is unique, fine, it is widely used, and also retina is also unique. Facial is also very unique. So all these are treated as unique. So this is a unique to each individual, hard to forge. We cannot forge it. Cannot be lost, stolen, or forgotten. Fine. Then provide strong authentication. This physiological. Then behavioral, keystroke dynamics, voice recognition, gait analysis, signature dynamics. All these are behavioral. Like it all depends how there is a pattern. It all depends on the pattern. That like voice is a pattern, right? So voice recognition generally we have also in our many electronic system, fine. So that is a pattern, and it matches that pattern, and then this is treated as a biometrics. But there are some disadvantages because in order to implement all this, high implementation cost is there. And then we have privacy. Biometric data is permanent, so there is a privacy concern. Fine. False acceptance rate and false rejection rate. I could not understand it much, but if Professor Mujib can also pitch in into this, but I wrote it here. So key concern: data breaches of biometric database, spoofing attack, cultural religious objections, and ADA compliance, and all these things are the concern for this. So because some people ask that I do not want to do fingerprinting, fine. There is somewhere you have a cultural and religious objections. So all these things are to be taken care of. So this is for biometric types. Then SSO, everybody knows this. SSO allows a user to authenticate once and gain access to the multiple systems or application. Like in most of the organization, it is implemented. You have to do only one login, SSO login, and you are done. You can go inside the system anywhere, and whatever privilege you have, you can access the privilege. But this is the main controlling point to get into the you can say organization. How user, then SSO, there is a one server called SSO server. User logs in, goes to that server, and then we have a token, email system, HR portal, CRM app, and file server. You go there. Advantage is improved user experience and productivity. It is only one place. You don't need to, before we need to go to that system, login, all those things. No, it is not there. Only one place. Then reduce password fatigue. Well, we have one password to either remember or change or whatever. And then we are done. Centralized access management, faster onboarding and onboarding. Just you onboard a person, you create his user in a SSO user, you are done. If you want to disable, if he is means he resigned, you want to disable, just go there. He will not be having access to our system. And these are the token, email, HR portal, CRM, and file server. A disadvantage, single point of failure. If SSO goes down, your all access is lost. Compromise, if it is a compromise, then whoever gets access, he has access to whole system. And that's why the hacker, black hacker, tries to enter into this, try to break this. So we have to have very much foolproof SSO server that and information security should be there such that no hacker cannot break into this. Complex implementation and integration. It is a complex implementation
Can
and
I ask a
integration.
quick question here?
Yeah.
So, Professor Mujib, quick question. So here the SSO server, it created a token. So these four system on the right, they are trusting this token. So my question is, how is the verification done? I can think of two ways, right? One thing is these email system can ask the SSO server, hey, did you create this token? Same goes to CRM app. It can ask the SSO server, hey, did you create this token? Is it correct? Right? That's one way. The other way I can think of is this SSO server, when it created the token, it encrypted the token in a with a private key.
Mhm.
And these four subsystem, they have the public key.
Yes, there is a
So
handshake between those systems. That's
right,
how it
so they
happens most of the
can
time.
they can use the public key to decrypt the token and see that yes, indeed this is a valid token. So we are using two different methodology. One is first the token is getting verified by the SSO server, and the second way is no verification, but we simply have the public key so we can decrypt and see if the token is valid or not. My question is, what is being used behind the scene?
Handshake, the second part, the private key and a public key, those are communicated with the systems, and then there is a handshake between those systems. If what they both match, then there is a the systems, the all those four systems allow the server to communicate with the user.
Okay, thank you.
Most of the time, that's how it is done. Listen.
So even if, let's say, if the SSO server created a token and
Uh-huh.
then let's say it died for some reason, but as long as that token is decryptable by the public keys, that token is good.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. And there is a time period for the token too.
Right. It has a
Expires after an, I don't know. Every company has, everybody
different.
have different this thing. 1 hour, few
Yes,
hours, whatever it is.
I saw it
Once,
has a TTL field,
yeah, yep, yep. It has a
time to
time
live.
period.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
time to live field.
Mhm.
Okay. And next is vendor lock-in risk. So sometimes we utilize third-party vendor for this. Fine. And like you have Okta and then Azure or Ping Identity. So we rely on these vendors for this. And suppose because of some policy change or something, you want to switch over the vendor, or vendor is trying to get more cost. They increase the cost, or you are not going to afford it. So you want to change the vendor, or you decide on your own. Means organization decided. Then that switch over to different vendor is challenging, because you have to do all these SSO related configuration as per the new vendor. So in order to mitigate that risk, I think a SAML, OAuth and OpenID Connect are being implemented, so that you have least issues, and you can able to switch over to the new vendor. So that is called vendor lock-in risk in this. Then we have, what are logical access control methods, what are the consequences of access control violation, and what access control measures are essential to mitigate this risk. So you have access control list. These are different method list, and the consequences of violation, and this is a violation, what is going to happen, it is in this. And essential mitigation, what is the essential mitigation? So like access control list, you have unauthorized access and disclosure. And you will implement by mitigate this by principle of least privilege. That is very common now, principle of least privilege, because whatever privilege minimum is needed, you are being given to that, so that you don't have any other issues because of any infiltration. Then password and paraphrase, that we know, identity theft and fraud, and multi-factor authentication we are implementing in order to this password and paraphrase. Token and smart card, data integrity compromise, regular access reviews and audit. The smart card, just now we discussed. So all these things are here. Encryption and PKI, regular non-compliance penalty if we don't do this, and then separation of duties. This is for encryption and PKI. And then we have firewalls, financial losses from lawsuits, remediation, and logging, monitoring, and alerts. Then group policy, operational disruption and downtime. Then security awareness training. That is for this.
A couple of questions here, folks. So anybody can answer this, right? So we talked about MFA here, right? We need to understand this what MFA is. Can somebody tell me what MFA basically? How do we implement MFA?
One is
Uh,
that, oh, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
no, no, you're good.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead, Subhani. Subhan.
I was gonna say, it's two-factor authorization like SMS
Yeah.
or
Minimum two. When we say MFA, it could be minimum two or more. So
okay,
two, yeah, that is correct. Two-factor authentication. Can you give me an example of two factors of authentication?
one-time
Such as,
passcode.
I'm sorry.
One-time passcode.
OTP,
Yeah,
OTP.
OTP, yeah, OTP.
OTP. Okay, very good. Any other?
Security questions like any security questions that you can choose, like your last name or your any security question.
Okay. Any other? Anybody else?
Okay.
How about a smart
What
card? Can we use smart card as an MFA? Yes, no?
Yes, it can
Yeah,
be
we can
accessed.
do. We can use password too, right? We can use fingerprinting too, right?
Fingerprint as well as
Yeah, yeah, very good, very good. So can you tell me what category does fingerprinting comes under? It's something you have, something you know, something you are. What is fingerprint?
Biometric.
physical recognition.
Yeah, so what does that mean? Physical recognition is what? It's is it
Of
something you have or something you are or something you know?
something we have, but it matches with
No, 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 no.
whatever. Oh, okay.
Phy- Physical fingerprinting is physical, right?
Yeah.
You have your,
Yes.
so what is that? That is something you are. You, right? That is, you are
Yeah.
showing your fingerprints there. That is something you are.
Yeah, but it has to
So what is
validate
something
whatever
you
it is
have?
stored.
No, no. What? Yes, but I'm talking about the category here. What category
Okay.
does they come in? So there are three categories, right? Something you are, something you know, that is knowledge, and something you are. Something you have is what? Smart card you can have, correct? So this is this. These are the things you all need to understand this too, right? So something you have is something like, for example, smart card. You have smart card, right? Keys, you have keys. Something you know is what? Can somebody give me an example of something you know?
Password?
Yes, security. Absolutely, absolutely. And something you are? Biometric. Absolutely, yes, yes. Fingerprinting or your retina scan or your face scan, that is also considered as something you are. Okay. Yep. Very good. Very good. Just wanted to make sure because MFA is kind of, it's vast field. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Now, what are effects of breaches in access control? So these are different breaches: data exposure, sensitive PI data, financial records, trade secrets, healthcare data exposed to unauthorized parties, leading to compliance violation. Then we have financial impact, direct cost from fines, lawsuits, remediation, breach notification, and indirect cost from lost business and stock. Like example is that credit card theft, number theft, that is a financial impact fine, and then a lot of people sues those companies. Then operational disruption, system gets shut down, fine. Service outage, compromise with infrastructure. This is hacker. Take the example of hacker, black hacker. Because of, if they are hacking the system, then what is going to happen? This is big operational disruption, and they charge money to get it continued. We discussed this before also. Then legal and regulatory requirement. All these requirement are must to have system ready. And if there is some issue, then there is a heavy fine and a penalty from the organization, because they, means depending on the business, it is, these are supposed to implement all these, and they are supposed to safeguard all these rules and regulation, whatever is mentioned in this. So that is your legal and regulatory. The reputational damage always. If there is some issue, reputation. You take the case of Enron. What happened, I think, few years back in Enron, that the whole information having PI data and everything was went outside to the world, and that whole it is a big damage to that company. Then escalation of attack, breach of access control can enable privilege escalation, lateral movement, and persistent threats, and further exploitation. It is a chain reaction. So this is escalation of attack. So summary, access control governs who can access what. MAC, DAC, RBAC, and rule-based are the four core models. Biometric provide a strong authentication but raise cost, accuracy, and privacy concern. SSO enhances usability but introduce single point of failure risk. It is paired with MFA. Logical controls, ACL encryption firewalls must follow least privilege and regularly audited. Least privilege and always it is audited. Then we have access control breaches, cause data loss, financial damage, regulatory penalties, and reputational harm. So this is key takeaways and summary. Yeah, that ends my presentation.
Very good, Sarosh. Does anybody have any questions for Sarosh? No? Who wants to go next? Go ahead, sir. Nishit, go ahead, sir.